Go.
I'd like to call the regular council meeting of Tuesday, October the 10th, 2023 to order. I'd like to remind all participants, and may they be advised that the meeting is to be recorded for public access broadcast. With that, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Can I have adoption of the agenda, please?
So
So moved by Councillor Thorne. Seconded by Councillor Oblinas. Any questions to the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Reminded, motion carried. I'll remind all councillors that there's conflict of interest. A declaration form in the middle of the table. If there's any item on the agenda this evening, please fill it in and pass it to the clerk. Accordingly, with that, can I have adoption of the minutes from the regular council meeting of September 11th, 2023?
So moved.
So moved by Councillor Dykstra,
Seconded.
seconded by Councillor Thorne. Any questions to the motion? No questions to the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary? Joe? Okay, good.
I said aye. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Motion carried. With that, can I have a motion, the adoption of the minutes from the committee of the whole meeting, September 25th, 2023, to move by.
Nathan.
Councillor Oblinas, seconded by Councillor Thorne. Any questions to the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Good. Motion carried. With that, the councillors were given consent agenda items. Any questions to the consent agenda items? No questions. With that, can I have a motion? So moved by Councillor Glantz, seconded by Councillor Thorne. Any questions to the motion? No questions to the motion on consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. With that, let's move on to item number 6, public and administrative presentations.
None this evening.
None this evening. Let's move on to reports and recommendations from committees and private meetings. Number 1, recommendations from the closed session, April 11th, 2023.
I'll read a background for some context before going into discussion. So as discussed during a closed session on April 11th, 2023, council approved a community improvement agreement, including undertaking resurfacing work at the expense of the town, as well as a registered right-of-way easement for municipal services to use a turnaround on private property. Following this meeting, administration engaged legal counsel to draft formal agreements. These were sent to property owners on June 6, 2023. On October 3rd, approval from the homeowners was provided on the agreement after an amended version was sent, which was also in the council package. And with that, there are 2 motions to be added to the floor.
Oh, you go ahead.
I'll move that council authorize the mayor, clerk, and town solicitor to sign and register the community improvement agreement and associated easement registration forms and documentation for PID bearing number 00817478 and direct the solicitor to register the forms accordingly.
So moved by Councillor Dykstra, seconded by Councillor Glant. Questions to the motion? No questions to the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried.
I'll do the next one. I'll move that council authorize administration to engage Brown's Paving to undertake the required paving work at the property bearing PID 00817478 as agreed upon in the community improvement agreement at a cost of $23,318 excluding HST.
Moved by Councillor Thorne. Seconded by Councillor Oblinas. Questions to the motion? No questions to the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried.
Next one, item 2. So another set of, or another paragraph or background. During a closed session of July 10th, 2023, Salisbury Town Council provided direction to administration to proceed with soliciting quotes from qualified contractors to demolish, dispose of all materials, and grade the property located at 33 McDonald Road in Salisbury. This property was acquired by the former village, and in 2022, a structural engineering inspection was completed that did not recommend the building be converted and/or used for public use. After deliberations with council and in conversations with landowners in the area, it was determined that the town should maintain ownership of the land, given its immediate adjacency to Salisbury's Highland Park, and given council's desire to expand the footprint of the park. An RFQ package was circulated to 4 vendors, with only one of whom submitted a price for this work. And with that, there is a recommendation on the floor, or will be a recommendation on the floor.
I'll move that further to the direction provided by council during a closed session on Monday, July 10th, 2023. Council award SALS 2023-19 to Trent Blakeney Towing and Excavating to proceed with the demolition, disposal of materials and grading of property at 33 McDonald Road for a total cost of $27,500 plus HST.
So moved by Councillor Lenis,
Seconded.
seconded by Councillor Glant. Questions to the motion? No questions to the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded?
Nay.
Motion carried. With that.
No reports from administration.
With that, let's move on to number 9, bylaws.
So there's one bylaw on the agenda. This was presented at committee of the whole in September and will be for first reading only. So for some context for council, we've been seeking clarity on the time matter, but currently we've listed it as being restrained to 10 p.m. And as a reminder, we can make changes up until third reading and enactment. We've made a modification to add the 1-year time period as requested. And we've also sought clarity as it relates to the definition of an off-road vehicle versus an all-terrain vehicle. Obviously, the definition has remained for off-road vehicle because there are conversations ongoing at the provincial level that will regulate and allow permits for some machines that are included in off-road vehicles but would not be included in ATVs. And then we've also sent the business notification letters as discussed at that committee of the whole meeting and have confirmed the open house to be held next week. So with that, I will, I guess there's a motion on the floor and then I'll pass it over to Diane.
I can do that. I'll move that council have first reading of the bylaw titled Town of Salisbury Bylaw number 8, a bylaw respecting the operation of off-road vehicles in Salisbury by title only.
Seconded.
Moved by Councillor Thorne, seconded by Councillor Dykstra.
Do have a question, and I don't know if it's to the question or to the bylaw. I don't know when, is this the appropriate time?
Yeah.
So one thing that was noted to me was we made an effort to make sure that Riverbend subdivision can get to the trail. However, we have not made any of the streets within Riverbend. We haven't listed them on the list of streets.
This is a good point.
Interesting.
This is, we'll check on the province on jurisdiction. Yeah, because those are technically not municipal streets. So as long as they're highway use permits, we can check on those and add those. That's a good point.
That doesn't hold us back from doing this though tonight.
Because it's just an addition to the streets after the fact, which any changes can be done until third reading.
And that's a attachment or a
Appendix?
appendix to it, so
Yeah.
we can change those without redoing the bylaw. I think,
Yes, yeah, it's a schedule. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Great question, Councillor Oblinas.
So does that also allow for the Homestead Road to be expanded to the entire,
It's state, we're still getting, do you mean the section towards
well, you have a
Yeah,
section
but-
listed here, but I'm saying the whole town. width
the,
of
we're
the-
still, I should have added that in the list too. We're still checking on insurance, if there's any questions there.
Good.
We sent the note off after the last meeting.
Sounds good.
Additional questions? No additional questions. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried.
So we will have first reading of the bylaw by title only. Bylaw number 8, a bylaw respecting the operation of off-road vehicles in Salisbury. So first reading is done. Again, it can be changed before the third reading. Also, this is all online. It's available in the office if anybody wants to come take a look and review it in paper instead of digitally. And again, a reminder of the meeting on October the 19th, where your questions can be answered. And you can see the maps and everything will be available that night. If anybody wants to come take a look or ask questions or anything. Good.
Item 10, there is no closed session. Number 11, mayor and councillor statements. I have nothing to report. Does anyone else? With that, there is no notice, motion and resolutions. And can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved by Councillor Thorne,
I'll second.
seconded by Councillor Lenis. All in favor?
Aye.
Reminded? Motion carried.